Qualitative interviews are a fundamental method in qualitative research, designed to collect rich, in-depth insights into people's thoughts, experiences, and behaviors. These interviews are particularly valuable when researchers aim to understand complex phenomena, social processes, or personal experiences. The flexibility of qualitative interviews allows for an exploration of the subject matter that is not confined by predefined hypotheses, making them ideal for exploratory research, theory development, or in-depth investigation of individual or group perspectives. Qualitative interviews offer a versatile and powerful tool for exploring complex issues in depth. The tool needs to be carefully calibrated to align with the research endeavor. This starts with selecting the type of interview you want to conduct. Let's consider differences in qualitative interviews related to the amount of structure in the interview process. First up, unstructured interviews. These are the most open form of interviewing, characterized by a lack of predetermined questions or a strict interview guide. This format encourages respondents to share their stories and experiences freely, leading to potentially rich and varied data. Unstructured interviews are akin to a guided conversation and are particularly useful for exploring new or complex topics where the researcher may not want to constrain the discussion. Next, semi-structured interviews. These interviews strike a balance between structure and flexibility. They are guided by an interview guide that lists key topics or questions but allows the interviewer to probe further or follow new leads as they emerge. This type is best when the researcher has specific topics of interest but also wants to remain open to unexpected insights. Last, structured interviews. In these, every participant is asked the same set of predefined questions in the same order, minimizing variation in the data collection process. This approach leans more towards quantitative analysis, making it easier to compare answers across a larger number of interviews. The richness of the data may be compromised due to the lack of flexibility in following up on interesting or unexpected responses. The interview guide plays a pivotal role in semi-structured and structured interviews. In semi-structured interviews, the guide is a flexible document that outlines the topics or questions to be covered during the interview, ensuring that the interviewer addresses all relevant areas while allowing for the natural flow of conversation. The guide can be adjusted as necessary based on the interview's progression, the responses given, and new directions of inquiry that may arise. The interview guide should be iterated based on feedback and insights gained from initial interviews or pilot tests. Pilot interviews are crucial for testing the interview guide, refining questions, and ensuring that the interview process is clear and effective. How much structure you want to impose on the interview process largely depends on the type of interview you are conducting. The narrative interview focuses on personal stories and experiences, allowing the respondent to narrate their life events or specific experiences without interruption. This type is particularly useful for understanding individual life courses, decision-making processes, or the impact of certain events on a person's life. The expert interview targets individuals with specialized knowledge or expertise in a particular field. The aim is to gain in-depth insights into professional practices, sector-specific knowledge, or to understand complex systems from an expert perspective. The problem-centered interview revolves around a specific problem or issue, combining elements of semi-structured and narrative interviews. It starts with a general discussion but is guided back to the central issue, allowing for a focused yet in-depth exploration. A focus group involves a moderated discussion with a small group of people on a specific topic or set of issues. Focus groups are valuable for exploring collective views, understanding group dynamics, or generating ideas. Let's take a look at quality criteria, sampling size, and triangulation in qualitative interview research. Maintaining openness, listening more than speaking, avoiding directing the conversation, and refraining from seeking specific responses are essential quality criteria of qualitative interviews. These practices ensure that the data collected is genuine and reflective of the respondent's true experiences and views. Selecting interview subjects is called sampling. Sampling should be done strategically to ensure a diverse and relevant range of perspectives. The concept of saturation is key in determining the number of interviews required. Saturation is reached when additional interviews no longer yield new insights. This point varies depending on the research question and context but is critical for ensuring comprehensive coverage of the topic. Researchers must be mindful of practical issues such as the setting of interviews, ethical considerations, and the potential limitations of interviews. Despite their strengths, interviews may not always be the most appropriate method for all research questions. Consider, for example, the accuracy of self-reported data and the influence of the interviewer's presence. Triangulation in qualitative research refers to the method of using multiple perspectives, data sources, theories, or methodologies to cross-verify and validate findings. Triangulation can involve combining qualitative and quantitative data, method triangulation, using different researchers or observers, investigator triangulation, gathering data from multiple sources or settings, data triangulation, or applying various theoretical perspectives, theory triangulation.